Chosen one, listen carefully. I am carrying an urgent and weighty message today, and I must be clear from the very beginning. This message is not for everyone. If you are not walking the divine path, if your heart resists God's guidance, if you only seek entertainment and not truth, this message will not hold you. You can leave now. But if you are a true follower of God, if your spirit has been set apart, if you have felt different, pressured, refined, and called without fully understanding why, then this message is for you. And it has reached you at the exact moment heaven intended. Not early, not late, perfectly timed. Today, I need to tell you something powerful. Archangel Michael himself acknowledges a turning point in your life. Heaven rejoiced because you finally did something that shifted your spiritual position. What you chose recently did not go unnoticed. It echoed beyond the physical world. Stay with me till the very end, because what you are about to hear will bring clarity, relief, and deep confirmation to your spirit. Many chosen ones have waited years for this understanding.
The moment heaven noticed, you chosen one, I want you to slow down with me for a moment. Breathe. Let your mind settle, because what I am about to explain is not noise, and it is not fantasy. It is spiritual truth. Heaven does not react the way humans react. Heaven is not impressed by loud prayers, public displays, or religious performance. Heaven watches alignment. Heaven listens for obedience. Heaven responds to inner decisions, not outer applause. For a long time, you felt like nothing was happening. You prayed, waited, endured, and questioned yourself. You wondered if God still saw you. You wondered if you missed your moment. Some nights you felt strong. Other nights you felt forgotten. And yet, heaven never stopped watching you. Not once. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life when the spiritual realm leans forward. Not because the chosen one became perfect, but because they became honest. Honest with God, honest with themselves, honest about what they could no longer carry. That is the moment heaven noticed you. You see, heaven rejoices quietly. There were no trumpets that you could hear, no signs that the world could recognize. But when you finally made that inner shift, when you stopped resisting what God had been pressing on your spirit, the atmosphere around you changed. You felt it, even if you couldn't explain it. A strange calm, a release, a heaviness lifting without words. Heaven noticed because you stopped fighting what was inevitable. You stopped negotiating with God. You stopped asking for a different path. You didn't announce it to anyone. You didn't need witnesses. You simply surrendered internally. And that is where power lives. Many chosen ones think heaven celebrates achievements. No, heaven celebrates alignment. When your will finally bowed to God's will, even quietly, even imperfectly, heaven responded. That response did not come as fireworks. It came as peace, as clarity, as protection. You may not realize this yet, but heaven has been patient with you. Not disappointed, patient. God knew the weight you were carrying. He knew how deeply you felt things. He knew how hard it was for you to let go of control, of fear, of old identities. He knew you needed time, and when the moment finally arrived, when your spirit said, "I can't do this my way anymore," heaven leaned in. That is when Archangel Michael took notice. Not because you are special in pride, but because you are set apart in purpose. Michael is not sent to people who are comfortable. He is assigned where courage is required, where inner battles are fought, where spiritual maturity is forming. The moment you stopped running from what God placed on your life, the spiritual realm shifted around you. You may have felt resistance increase before this moment. Confusion, fatigue, emotional pressure. That was not random. That was the last attempt of delay. Because when a chosen one is about to align fully, opposition grows louder. But you did not retreat. You did not collapse. You did not turn bitter. You stayed standing, even when you were tired. Heaven noticed that. There are people watching you who do not understand you. There are situations that never gave you credit. There were seasons where you were faithful and unseen. Heaven noticed every single one. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. You need to hear this clearly. Heaven did not rejoice because you became loud. Heaven rejoiced because you became still, still enough to hear God, still enough to obey, still enough to trust. That inner stillness is rare. Most people are too busy proving themselves to ever reach it, but you reached it through pain, endurance, and quiet faith. And that is why this moment matters. This is why this message reached you now. Because you are no longer where you used to be. Something in you shifted. You crossed a line internally. You are not who you were, even if your surroundings look the same. Heaven noticed because you chose growth over comfort, truth over illusion, purpose over approval. And once that choice is made, even silently, heaven responds with protection, guidance, and favor. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are right where heaven can finally move with you instead of against your resistance. This is the moment heaven noticed you, and this is only the beginning. What you finally did that changed everything. Chosen one, I want to speak to you plainly now. No riddles, no mystery language. Because what you finally did was not complicated, but it was costly. And heaven measures cost, not appearance. You did not suddenly become holy overnight. You did not reach perfection. You did not figure everything out. What you finally did was far more important than that. You stopped resisting God internally. You stopped arguing in your spirit. You stopped trying to rewrite the assignment. And whether you said it out loud or not, something in you finally whispered, "All right, Lord, I trust you." That is the moment everything changed. For a long time you were obedient on the outside but divided on the inside. You believed in God, but you were still holding your own escape plans. You prayed, but you also worried. You listened, but you hesitated. And God was patient with you because he knew your heart was not rebellious. It was wounded. It was tired. It was afraid of losing control. What you finally did was let go of the need to control the outcome. You see, chosen ones struggle with this more than most people, not because they lack faith, but because they feel responsibility deeply. You felt like if you didn't manage everything, everything would fall apart. You felt like you had to understand the plan before you obeyed it, and that mindset kept you stuck longer than you needed to be. But recently, something shifted. You realized that your way of holding on was exhausting you. You realized that constantly bracing yourself was not strength anymore. It was survival. And survival is not the same as faith. So you released something. Maybe it was resentment. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was an old version of yourself. Maybe it was the need to be understood. Whatever it was, heaven saw the moment you stopped clenching your fists. That release was not weakness. That release was maturity. This is why heaven rejoiced. Because mature faith does not demand explanations. Mature faith says, even if I don't understand, I will obey. That level of trust is rare, and it cannot be taught. It can only be grown through pressure. You did not arrive here easily. You arrived here after disappointment, after unanswered prayers, after seasons where you did the right thing and still suffered. And yet, you did not let your heart harden. That alone tells heaven everything it needs to know about you. What you finally did was stop asking God to prove himself to you. You stopped saying, if you do this, then I'll trust you. And you started saying, because I trust you, I'll move. That reversal is powerful. That reversal is what shifts spiritual authority. This is the point where Archangel Michael takes notice. Because Michael is not assigned to people who are still negotiating with fear. He stands with those who have made an inner decision and are ready to walk forward, even if their voice shakes. Heaven does not rejoice when you talk about faith. Heaven rejoices when faith costs you something. And what this cost you was comfort, familiarity, old coping mechanisms, and possibly people who could no longer walk with the version of you that God is forming. That is why this moment feels lonely and peaceful at the same time. Lonely because old connections no longer fit. Peaceful because you are no longer fighting yourself. You finally stopped trying to be everything to everyone. You finally stopped explaining yourself. You finally stopped shrinking your convictions to make others comfortable. And you did it without anger, without revenge, without bitterness. That restraint is spiritual strength. Many people think obedience looks dramatic, but most of the time, obedience looks like quiet alignment. It looks like choosing not to react, choosing not to chase, choosing not to force outcomes, choosing rest over panic. Heaven rejoiced because you finally trusted God enough to rest. And rest is not laziness. Rest is confidence. Rest says, I believe God is working even when I can't see it. That belief shifts the spiritual atmosphere around you. You may have noticed that certain doors closed recently without struggle, that certain temptations lost their pull, that certain fears no longer scream as loudly. Those are signs that your spirit has moved into agreement with heaven. Agreement unlocks authority. This is why things will not work the way they used to. This is why old patterns feel uncomfortable now. You have outgrown them, not because you are better than others, but because your assignment requires clarity. What you finally did was choose alignment over delay. And let me be clear about something. Heaven is not applauding you because you got it right. Heaven is rejoicing because you stopped running. You stopped postponing obedience. You stopped waiting for perfect conditions. You moved internally first, and the physical world always follows the spiritual one. That is why this message feels personal, because it is confirming what your spirit already knows. You crossed a threshold. You cannot go back to who you were. And you don't need to mourn that version of yourself. It carried you as far as it could. Now, heaven is walking with you differently. This is not the end of your struggle, but it is the end of your confusion. From this point forward, even challenges will make sense. Even resistance will clarify direction, because you are no longer divided inside. Heaven rejoiced because you finally became whole. And when a chosen one becomes whole, everything around them begins to realign. Why Archangel Michael stepped forward. Now, chosen one, let me speak with firmness and calm authority here, because this part matters deeply. Archangel Michael does not move impulsively. He does not appear for drama, emotion, or curiosity. He steps forward only when a spiritual line has been crossed. And recently, you crossed that line. Many people talk about spiritual protection, but few understand when it is activated. Protection intensifies not when life is easy, but when responsibility increases. When heaven prepares to entrust someone with greater clarity, greater influence, or greater spiritual weight, protection must move ahead of them. That is why Michael stepped forward now. Archangel Michael is a warrior, yes, but more importantly, he is a guardian of divine order. He defends what God has authorized. And until recently, you were still hesitating to fully authorize God in certain areas of your life. Heaven respected your free will. God never forces alignment. He waits for consent. The moment you gave that consent internally, even quietly, the spiritual jurisdiction around you changed. You see, Michael is not assigned to beginnings. He is assigned to transitions, to moments where a chosen one moves from preparation into responsibility, from confusion into clarity, from internal war into internal agreement. That is why some of you have felt an unusual sense of seriousness lately. Not fear, seriousness. A sense that playtime is over. A sense that your spirit has matured faster than your surroundings. That feeling is not heaviness. It is readiness. Michael steps in when the chosen one no longer needs to be convinced, only supported. Let me say this gently but clearly. Up until now, much of your battle was internal. Doubt versus faith. Fear versus trust. Old wounds versus present truth. Heaven allowed that struggle because it was forming you. But now, that internal battle has largely settled. And when inner conflict settles, external movement begins. That external movement attracts attention, both divine and opposing. This is why protection becomes necessary now. You may have noticed subtle things, sudden clarity in situations that once confused you, a stronger discernment about people, a decreased tolerance for manipulation or chaos. These are not personality changes. These are indicators that your spiritual authority is stabilizing. Michael's role is to guard that stabilization. Understand this. The enemy does not fear loud believers. The enemy fears aligned believers. Those who are no longer emotionally reactive. Those who no longer second-guess every instruction from God. Those who move quietly but decisively. That is who you are becoming. Michael does not fight for those who are still spiritually undecided. He fights for those who have already decided and are now walking forward. That decision you made internally gave him legal standing in your life. And no, that does not mean you will never face opposition again. It means opposition will no longer confuse you. There is a difference. Before, resistance made you question yourself. Now, resistance will simply confirm that you are moving in the right direction. That shift alone is powerful. Some of you have felt watched lately. Not in a paranoid way, but in an alert way, like something is surrounding you, guarding you, ordering things around you. That is not imagination, that is spiritual positioning. Michael's presence is not emotional, it is stabilizing. He brings structure where there was overwhelm, courage where there was hesitation, boundaries where there was leakage. You may have noticed that certain people no longer have access to you the way they used to. Conversations end faster. Draining dynamics lose energy. That is not you becoming cold. That is you becoming protected. Protection does not always feel dramatic. Often it feels like peace you didn't have to fight for. Michael also steps forward when a chosen one is about to be misjudged. When others begin to misunderstand your silence, your boundaries, your distance. Heaven knows when accusations may come, misinterpretations, spiritual envy, and protection rises in advance. Let me be very clear here. This is not about ego. This is about assignment. You are being guarded because what God is building in you cannot afford constant interference. Not now, not at this stage. Some of you are stepping into roles that require emotional stability, others into leadership of example, not position, others into deeper intercession, creativity, or guidance. Whatever it is, it requires clarity, and clarity must be protected. Michael stands where clarity must not be compromised. That is why you are being called to stay calm, to avoid unnecessary battles, to stop explaining yourself, to let God handle your defense. Michael does not need your help to fight. Your role now is to remain aligned, to remain grounded, to remain obedient. And obedience at this stage does not mean doing more, it means reacting less. It means trusting that not every disturbance deserves your attention. This is where many chosen ones fail. They feel protected and then become reckless. But true spiritual authority moves carefully, not loudly. Michael's presence is a reminder, not a license. A reminder that you are covered. A reminder that you do not need to prove your strength. A reminder that heaven has acknowledged your readiness. You are no longer being trained in chaos. You are being trained in peace. And peace is not passive. Peace is controlled power. So if life feels quieter, do not panic. If people fall away, do not chase. If doors close without explanation, do not force them open. Michael is not removing things from your life to punish you. He is clearing the path so you can walk without distraction. This is a guarded season, a sacred one, and the reason he stepped forward now is simple. You are no longer divided inside, and heaven protects those who are whole. You are not being rushed. You are being secured, and that security will carry you into what comes next. The hidden battles you survived that no one knows, chosen one, this is the part most people never hear about. This is the part that never gets applause, and yet, this is the part heaven remembers most clearly. You survived battles that were never visible, battles you could not explain without sounding weak, battles you carried quietly while still showing up for others. You smiled when your spirit was tired. You encouraged people while feeling empty yourself. You prayed for strength when you really needed rest. And still, you kept going. Heaven saw that. There were nights when your mind would not rest, when questions circled endlessly, when you wondered why doing the right thing felt so heavy. You did not doubt God's existence, but you questioned his timing, and instead of abandoning your faith, you wrestled with it. That wrestling did not disqualify you, it refined you. Some of your hardest battles were emotional, feeling misunderstood, feeling unseen, feeling like you were carrying more than others realized. You were often the strong one, the calm one, the one people leaned on. And because of that, no one asked how you were really doing, but heaven asked. You fought the battle of isolation. Not because you pushed people away, but because fewer people could walk where you were being led. That loneliness was not rejection. It was separation. And separation hurts before it makes sense. You also fought the battle of restraint. There were moments you could have defended yourself, exposed others, or spoken your truth loudly. And you chose silence. Not because you were afraid, but because your spirit told you to wait. That kind of restraint takes strength most people never develop. Silence is not weakness. Silence is trust. You fought disappointment without becoming cynical. That alone is rare. Many people become bitter when prayers take too long. You became deeper. You became more discerning. You let God shape you instead of hardening you. There were moments when walking away was the hardest thing you had ever done. Not because you did not care, but because you cared deeply. You let go of people, dreams, versions of yourself, not because they were bad, but because they no longer aligned with who you were becoming. Heaven saw every tear you wiped away before anyone noticed. You survived spiritual exhaustion. That season when you were tired of being strong, tired of believing, tired of waiting. And yet, you never fully let go of God, even when your prayers were short. Even when your faith felt quiet, even when all you could say was, Lord, you know. That whisper mattered. You fought the battle of self-doubt, wondering if you were imagining the call, wondering if you were asking too much of life, wondering if maybe you were meant for less. And instead of letting those thoughts define you, you brought them to God, again and again. Heaven noticed your honesty. Some of you battled guilt for resting, guilt for saying no, guilt for choosing peace over performance. You had to unlearn the belief that your worth came from constant output. That battle was internal and exhausting, but you are winning it. You also survived spiritual warfare that came disguised as distraction. Opportunities that pulled you off course, relationships that drained you, voices that planted confusion. And slowly, patiently, you learned to discern what gave life and what took it. Discernment is earned, not gifted. There were times you felt delayed, like life was moving forward for everyone else while you stayed in place. But what you did not see was that heaven was strengthening your foundation. Speed without stability would have broken you. So heaven slowed you down to protect you. And let me say something important here. You did not survive these battles because you were stronger than everyone else. You survived because God was faithful, because grace carried you when willpower ran out, because mercy met you when you were tired, and yes, Archangel Michael was present even then, not always fighting loud battles, but guarding your spirit when you were most vulnerable, redirecting harm you never saw, blocking attacks you never knew about. There were moments when things could have gone very wrong, decisions you almost made, paths you almost took, and somehow Something stopped you. That was not luck. That was protection. You are here today because heaven intervened quietly. The hidden battles shaped your character. They taught you compassion. They softened your judgment. They deepened your patience. You do not rush people because you know how long growth takes. You do not mock weakness because you remember your own. That is spiritual maturity. Many people want purpose without pain, calling without cost, authority without humility. But heaven does not work that way. Heaven entrusts weight only to those who have learned how to carry it without crushing others. You have learned that. This is why your presence feels calming to some and unsettling to others. Calm people recognize peace. Unsettled people feel exposed by it. Do not let that confuse you. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be aligned with God. The battles you survived trained you to listen more than speak, to respond rather than react, to wait rather than rush. These are not delays, these are disciplines. And now, because of those hidden battles, you are prepared for what comes next, not emotionally fragile, not spiritually naive, but grounded. You are not fragile anymore. You are tender and strong at the same time. That combination is rare, and heaven values it deeply. So if you ever wonder whether those unseen struggles mattered, let me answer clearly. They mattered more than you know. Heaven remembers what people forget. And because you endured without losing your heart, you are now trusted with greater peace. This is why rest feels closer now. This is why clarity is increasing. This is why the noise is fading. You survived what could have broken you, and you did not survive by accident. Heaven saw you the whole time. What heaven is preparing for you now. Chosen one. This is where many people misunderstand God. They think preparation always feels like pressure, like chaos, like constant movement. But true preparation often feels like quiet alignment, and that is exactly where you are now. Heaven is not rushing you, heaven is settling you. After endurance comes positioning. After inner agreement comes clarity. And after clarity comes assignment. What God is preparing for you now is not something you can force, and it is not something you can rush. It is something that unfolds naturally when your spirit is ready to carry it without strain. What is being prepared first is not around you. It is within you. You may notice that your reactions are changing. Things that once triggered anxiety now feel manageable. Situations that once demanded explanation now feel unnecessary to engage. That is not detachment. That is emotional maturity. Heaven is preparing your inner world to remain steady regardless of external movement. Stability always comes before expansion. Some of you are being prepared for greater responsibility, but not in the way the world defines responsibility. Not more noise, not more proving, but more impact through presence. Your words will begin to carry more weight because you speak less. Your silence will begin to teach because it is grounded, not avoidant. Heaven is also preparing discernment at a deeper level. You will no longer need signs for every decision. You will sense alignment quickly. Peace will either stay or leave, and that will be enough information. That kind of discernment only comes when trust is established between you and God. Trust has been established. Do not be surprised if certain opportunities appear without effort. Not because you chased them, but because you are now positioned to receive them without distortion. When the inner world is aligned, the outer world responds. Heaven is also preparing separation without isolation. You may find that your circle grows smaller but stronger. Fewer voices, clearer guidance. Less confusion, more direction. That is not loss. That is refinement. Refinement protects focus. Some of you are being prepared for leadership even if you do not hold a title. Leadership of example. Leadership of stability. People will notice how you carry pressure, how you respond to disappointment, how you remain grounded without becoming rigid. That kind of leadership does not announce itself. It influences quietly. Heaven is also preparing rest for you. Real rest. Not escape, but renewal. the kind of rest that restores your nervous system, your faith, and your confidence. You have been in survival mode for a long time. Heaven is teaching you how to live without bracing for impact. That shift alone will heal you deeply. You may also notice that your prayers are changing. Less asking, more listening, less urgency, more trust. That is not spiritual dryness. That is spiritual maturity. You are learning to sit with God without needing to control the conversation. Heaven enjoys that closeness. Some chosen ones fear this calm. They think something must be wrong, but calm is often the sign that alignment has settled. When you stop fighting yourself, life stops fighting you as intensely. This does not mean challenges disappear. It means challenges no longer define you. Heaven is also preparing protection around your time and energy. You will feel less obligated to fix everyone, less responsible for outcomes that are not yours. That boundary is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot pour from an empty vessel, and heaven is making sure you are not emptied again. And yes, Archangel Michael remains present during this preparation, not aggressively, steadily, ensuring that what is forming in you is not disrupted by unnecessary interference. You are being prepared to move without fear of losing yourself. Some of you are being prepared for visibility, others for depth, some for guidance roles, others for creative expression. The form will differ, but the foundation is the same: integrity, peace, obedience. Heaven is also preparing timing. Things will begin to happen in sequence instead of chaos. You will no longer feel like you are reacting to life. You will feel like you are walking with it. That is alignment. Do not rush this season. Do not compare it. Do not label it. Let it do its work. Preparation is holy. And this preparation is gentle because you have already endured enough. What comes next will not require you to abandon yourself. It will require you to trust that the version of you God has shaped is enough. And it is. Heaven is not preparing you to survive anymore. Heaven is preparing you to walk steadily, without fear, without confusion, and without apology. You are closer than you think. How to stay aligned. After this revelation, chosen one, alignment is not something you achieve once and then forget. It is something you live from. And now that your spirit has tasted clarity, your responsibility is not to strive harder, but to remain honest. The first way you stay aligned is by protecting your inner stillness. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every emotion deserves a reaction. You have learned that peace is not passive, it is guarded. When something disturbs your spirit, pause before you respond. Alignment often speaks in calm impressions, not urgency. You do not need to rush decisions anymore. What is meant for you will not require panic. Another key to staying aligned is restraint in communication. You do not owe everyone access to your inner world. Not everyone will understand what God is doing in you, and that is okay. Silence can be sacred when it is guided by wisdom. Explain less, observe more. You will also need to maintain alignment by staying close to God without pressure. This means prayer without performance, conversation without scripts. Some days your prayer will be words, other days it will be silence. Both are heard. Consistency matters more than intensity. Pay attention to what drains you and what restores you. Alignment is revealed through fruit. If something consistently leaves you empty, confused, or heavy, it deserves examination. God does not lead through chronic exhaustion. Peace is a compass. You must also guard against spiritual pride. Alignment does not make you superior, it makes you responsible. Stay teachable, stay humble, stay grounded. Remember how long it took you to get here. Humility keeps alignment stable. There will be moments when you are tempted to re-engage old patterns, to over-explain, to fix what God did not ask you to fix. When that urge rises, pause. Ask yourself if this action is coming from fear or faith. Faith moves calmly. Fear rushes. You may also notice increased sensitivity. Loud environments may feel overwhelming. Certain conversations may feel shallow. That does not mean you are withdrawing. It means your discernment has sharpened. Honor that sensitivity without isolating yourself. Keep your routines simple. Do not complicate your faith. God is not impressed by spiritual overload. He values sincerity. A few grounded habits done faithfully will keep you more aligned than many forced practices. Let your life breathe. And yes, remember that Archangel Michael guards alignment through obedience, not obsession. You are protected, but protection works best when you stay aware, not anxious. Do not seek constant confirmation. Trust what has already been confirmed. There will be days when alignment feels effortless. Other days it will require conscious choice. Both are normal. Do not judge yourself harshly on the difficult days. Growth is not linear. Grace is part of alignment. Finally, stay grateful. Gratitude anchors you in the present. It reminds you of how far you have come without pulling you backward. Gratitude keeps your heart soft, and a soft heart hears God clearly. If you live this way, alignment will not be something you chase. It will be something you carry, calmly, confidently, without strain. This is how you remain steady after revelation. Conclusion. Heaven's joy and your next step. Chosen one, let me close this with calm truth and steady reassurance. Heaven did not rejoice because you became louder, stronger, or more visible. Heaven rejoiced because you became aligned, because you finally stopped fighting God in your spirit, because you trusted Him enough to rest, enough to obey, enough to let go. That choice changed everything. You are not standing at the end of a journey. You are standing at the place where walking finally feels honest, where faith feels lighter, where obedience no longer feels like loss, but like freedom. This is why peace is returning. This is why confusion is fading. This is why you feel quieter but stronger at the same time. Do not rush what comes next. Do not overthink it. Carry this revelation gently. Let it settle into your daily life. Let it shape how you speak, how you rest, how you choose. You do not need to prove anything to anyone anymore. Heaven already knows. And remember this clearly. You are not walking alone. God is with you. And Archangel Michael stands as a guardian, not to frighten you, but to secure what God is building in you. You are protected because you are ready. You are guided because you listened. So walk forward calmly. Stay obedient. Stay humble. Stay at peace. Before you go, chosen ones, give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, tap the bell icon so you don't miss what God releases next, and share this message with other chosen ones who need this confirmation. And comment 777 below as a seal, declaring that you are aligned, aware, and walking boldly in the purpose God has placed on your life. Heaven rejoiced for a reason, and this is only the beginning.